Before the world knew borders, before the continents drifted into the shapes we know today, there was just one vast land wrapped in a single, restless ocean. In this dawn of time, when myths walked the earth, lived a man who was more than a man, Hercules. Half god, half mortal, his strength was a legend whispered on the wind, a force that could shake the very foundations of the world. This strength was also his burden. To prove his worth to the gods, he was tasked with 12 impossible labors. He'd already faced down monsters and outsmarted kings. Now his 10th labor called him to the edge of the known world, to the island of Erythea, to capture the cattle of the three-bodied giant Geryon. To reach this mythical island, Hercules had to cross a formidable barrier, a colossal mountain range that sealed the Mediterranean Sea from the great outer ocean. The locals called it the Wall of the World. No mortal can pass, they warned him. Beyond it, the ocean falls into darkness. But Hercules, driven by destiny, only smiled. Fear was not in his nature. He journeyed through shimmering deserts and ancient forests until the great mountain rose before him, its peak lost in the clouds. It was an impassable, silent titan of rock. Hercules placed a hand on its cold surface, feeling a deep thrumming like a sleeping heart. "I am Hercules," he spoke, his voice steady against the wind. "I don't seek to conquer you, but to pass. My destiny lies beyond." The mountain remained unmoved. So Hercules planted his feet, gathered the divine power roaring in his veins, and pushed. At first, nothing. The wind howled, mocking his effort. But he pushed harder, his muscles straining, his heart pounding like a war drum. The ground began to tremble. The sky darkened. With a roar that was half human, half god, a sound that ripped through the very fabric of the air, he unleashed his full might. The mountain screamed back. A crack like a bolt of lightning shot across its face. And then, with one final, earth-shattering effort, Hercules tore the mountain in two. The world groaned as the Atlantic Ocean, wild and untamed, surged forward, flooding the newly formed channel. Where one mountain had stood, now there were two peaks, standing like sentinels on either side of the new strait. On the African coast, Mount Abila, and on the European, the mighty Rock of Gibraltar. The Pillars of Hercules were born. Breathing hard, the wind whipping through his hair, Hercules stood between his creation. He looked west, toward the setting sun, and wondered what lay beyond that horizon. He placed a hand on each pillar, a silent blessing. "Let these stand as a warning," he declared, "and as a promise. Beyond this gate lies the edge of courage and the beginning of discovery." And with that he walked through the passage he had made, and into legend. For centuries, sailors would gaze upon the Rock of Gibraltar and its twin, filled with awe and terror. They called it non plus ultra. Nothing further beyond. It was the end of the map, the limit of their world. To sail past the pillars was to defy the gods themselves. But human curiosity is a powerful force. Eventually, brave explorers, inspired by the myth, dared to follow in the demigod's footsteps. They sailed through the strait and discovered that the end of the old world was merely the beginning of a new one. They proved that even legends can be surpassed. Today, the Rock of Gibraltar still stands, a monument carved from myth and geology. It watches over the bustling strait, a silent witness to the endless flow of ships and stories. The winds still seem to carry the echo of Hercules' roar, and the waves still whisper of the day the world was torn open. If you ever stand on its cliffs at twilight, you might feel a deep pulse beneath your feet, a slow, ancient heartbeat. Is it the echo of a god's strength? Or the mountain itself, remembering the day it became two, forever guarding the gate between the known and the unknown? The legend lives on, not just in stone but in the spirit of anyone who dares to push beyond their limits, proving that the edge of the world is only ever the start of another journey. Thank you so much for joining me on this mythical journey today. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more legends from our incredible world. See you next time.